Good morning. Oh. Welcome in. I'm getting weird static. I'm trying to figure out what that's from. Might be my Bluetooth. What up, Go West? Welcome in. Technical difficulties as to be expected. Bluetooth headphones are a good idea in theory. But every time I use them, at least with my computer, I get some sort of problem. They work fine with my phone. Woo! Here we are. Welcome in, friends. Came to work on the Friday. I get to work from home. No, Go West! Can you exchange that for a different Friday? Make up an excuse, Go West. I'll write you a doctor's note. Dr. Dork. Sounds like a rom-com. Louise. Garnican. Not today. If there's anything we should work on, it is eluding me. Because right now I'm actually in a really happy spot with this game. There are a couple mechanics that I'll probably work on over time. For example, like the final boss puzzle. We can't really do it right now. So you can't actually drop equipment from your inventory right now. That's like what the main mechanic is going to be. So like, is there, let's say, a sword here? So if I were to pick up this Eon sword test, and it was in my inventory, I wouldn't be able to drop it. 0.8.2, that mechanic is still broken. But I'm going to try it right now and see. Who knows? Might have fixed itself. In fact, we'll do one collectible and then one curio. We'll see if that has any difference. But yeah, other than that, I was going to say, like, if anybody had something they wanted to work through together, I'd be happy to help out. Because most of the time, like, these mechanics, like, I might know them, but I also might have to work through them to, like, remember, you know? Welcome in, everybody. Jayonha, how are you? Good morning. Nicholas Mage, GM, good morning, good morning. 987A, good morning to you. I got my decaf coffee. There's definitely a difference in taste. Oh, hello! You can drop curio. What about normal collectibles? Okay, the drop works. So guess what? That's what we're working on today. Let's go! When did they fix that? Because I briefly recall attempting that like a month ago. So like, I had some equipment that I made. You know, the dorky looking ones? These guys. The placeholders. And I was unable to drop them. So maybe it is something to do with like gemmed equipment? Excuse me. Oh, I have the hiccups right now. Okay, so weapons might be the problem. No, I'm able to drop it. Okay, maybe I didn't even experiment with this yet. I think it was, oh, what? Why can't I pick it up now? If you pick it up once, can you not drop it? Interesting, okay. Oh, well that's unfortunate. So it loses the ability to pick it up after you pick it up one time. In the past, it kept old behaviors, and we discovered that when we were just playing around with like soldier behavior, among others. Like you could pick up and drop a soldier, for example, which let's just confirm that that's not the case anymore, because it looks as though it lost the collectible component, and I even tried it with Curio just now, so both a behavior and a component did not stick around. But just to test it real quick, while I'm thinking about it, we're gonna give this a soldier behavior and a collectible behavior. Collectible will do on interact. So if I pick up Jet, it'll and then drop him. The idea is this, he'll still be able to attack things like a soldier. Now the enemy, we'll just use an imp, and then we'll just make him immortal. So Jet will just continually attack him. We want him to have the melee enemy tag, and he'll just do no damage, but be invincible. Yeah, we'll just test that real quick. Oh, hey Paul, welcome in. So yeah, Paul's saying that you can't drop equipment. So regular stuff with no gems. So yes, I should probably test things with other gems, but these have gems slotted into them, and I'm able to drop them. Which I don't recall that being a thing before. Or at least in 0.8.2 it wasn't working properly. Welcome in, guys! OG Shakespeare bringing the raid. Charactros! What's up? Halfd0rk, good morning. Yoke's on you. What up? Okay, so here is Jet. I'm seeing if I can drop him and he'll continually attack that imp. It looks like quest items still work. So Jet here, I'm able to pick up and then immediately drop him. Although, this is the new bug, is after I've picked him up once, I can no longer pick him up. And that was the same with the equipment too. So if I drop anything from my equipment, it no longer allows me to pick it back up. That's neat. Yeah, Paul. Okay, so yeah, Paul, you're confirming that's new too, because yeah, I was recalling it working in a different way or not working at all. So this is definitely something that they kind of tweaked. The inconsistencies. Paul, cheers to that. Ian the IT guy, good morning. Mosquita, buenos dias. Wicked, you too, how are you too? Bert, good day. Welcome in, everybody. So yeah, I was just kind of seeing what I could work on today. If anybody has something they would like for me to explore on stream, this is a good time to offer. You know, like, oh, I want to know how to teleport, or something along those lines. But yeah, I'll probably type up a bug report for that dropping mechanic. Because if you drop something from your equipment, you want to be able to pick it back up, right? So that's the current situation. But that is, that's good. That I can now pick up and drop things. When you pick up an asset that you had previously dropped from your inventory, you cannot pick up an asset that you had previously dropped from your inventory. Is there anything else I should add to that? it. Do you guys hear like the notification I just got? I have Bluetooth headphones on, and so it's like talking to me. I'm curious if you guys can hear that. I don't think you can. You can pick up an asset that you previously dropped. You cannot. Okay, thank you, Huddle. Yeah, my headphones are acting really weird this morning. Usually I use the wired set, and so today I'm trying the Bluetooth again. I think that's more than enough information there. My Bluetooth! When Bluetooth first came out, I thought it was literally like a tooth that you put into your, into your mouth. Like that's where all the connections were made. Blue Tulip! I like that emote. What's up, Blue? Background music's pretty loud. Oh, thank you. I forgot to turn it down from the intro. So yeah, it's worth noting that you can still drop assets.
Tom Voxel's probably in the chat.
Hey Tom.
Voxel, how are you? Welcome.
Drop that asset, Tom.
Tom Voxel himself.
Tom Voxel's here. Good morning. You can drop assets with behaviors still working. So Jet here, he was just in my inventory, and he had soldier behavior. And now I've dropped him from my inventory, and he still has the soldier behavior. Julie! Good morning, Julie. Get Tipsy a tiny guitar. I would see that. If she could play an instrument, she seems like a drummer. But yeah, that's good to note. However, it kind of defeats the purpose when you can't replace them. So I can't pick him back up. So, now what does that mean? How could I make a mechanic around that? Well, what we could do, and I like this as a potential, mechanic for the game. So let's make some circles here. Sure, we'll use green hexes. And we'll have 4 little locations. Now I would like to have some sort of radial circle. So I might make something and vox it real quick. So I'm getting Voxed open. Now obviously I won't be able to import it fast enough to work with it today. But if I make it now, I'll have it for next week. So we'll do a new VXM circle 1. I'll just go to the max 256. Doesn't need to be tall, 256. We'll make the circle. Put that at 1. Ooh. Ew. And then what I'm thinking here is I'll make a new layer. So I'm going to make a new layer. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Try and get the same shape as best as possible. Then I'm going to move this top layer into the center. Uh-oh. I guess that's a lot of voxels. So it's very laggy. The idea here is that one of these 2 layers, which maybe if I edit that, Looks like they share the same color. But I'm basically trying to make like an outline. Yeah, that's nice. Sure, that'll give me a good starting point. So with this layer now, I'm going to put it on the top, and then I'm going to delete it. After merging, but I need the new color first. We're going to change that color. And then I'm going to merge them together. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then make a duplicate. So that way I have a second version. This will be circle 2. This is something I do with pretty much everything software related, is I make backups. It has helped me more times than I can count. It's a good habit, for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to merge these two together. Then I'm going to delete this color, and then I have this kind of like radial outline, like a perimeter. Now I can tweak it a little bit. I definitely want to close the circle, but I also kind of like it as is, so I'm going to keep it. We'll do create child node root, aka control node, and then also the main. Cool. The publish does make it appear almost immediately. Alright, we could try that. Okay, so how many faces we have? 2,000 faces. Not bad. Looks cool though, right? Now, if I really wanted to, and Paul is suggesting the circle tool erase. One thought came to mind is I could duplicate this and then flip it. So let's try that. We'll do duplicate, flip. And then I could just delete or merge it back together. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a full circle. Not bad, yeah. Looks good. Now, color-wise, I'd probably want maybe yellow or green. We'll do green. Okay, I'll make sure I'm logged in, and then I'll upload it. Does anybody got fun plans for today? I think D&D is gonna happen. Seems like everybody wants it to happen. I hope it happens. And you didn't hear it from me, but we're probably getting close to the finale with D&D. So just trying to find out a good way to tie the knot. Alright, now I can export this. And yeah, Nicholas Mage, thank you for saying that. Keeping the tags, that is something we're going to definitely test. Because we do get to keep like the behavior. The component, not so much. It didn't look like I could pick it back up. But we were able to keep the behavior, or at least the legacy behavior. Okay, so we'll publish it. Okay, it says it's published. So not instant, but maybe if I tab in and out, it'll be there. So the tag was what Nicholas Mage suggested. So let's take a quick look at that. This is tag jet. So what I'll do is I'll drop jet near here with a speaker component, and it'll scream jet if jet is in the area. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay, we can test that real quick. So we pick jet up, walk him over here. Quest inventory, drop. Jet! It did recognize the tag. However, I can't pick him back up. Oh, I can pick him back. What? What? I was able to pick it back up. It might be interaction only. That's the good workaround for now. What? What? Alright, so if I change him to collision, for example. I walk through him, pick him up. Drop him over here. And now if I try to pick him back up, I can still pick him back up. Okay. Was it equipment then? So quest items are fine. It looks like quest items don't have a problem. So equipment then, that was what I was testing before everybody popped in. I'll make sure it's single player too. With the sword, I'll test multiplayer. And then I'll give each of them a tag, just for test purposes. Yeah, Nicholas Mage, very cool. It's that's super useful for a lot of mechanics. I hope people use that more often. If you do use it, for those of you that are making a game out of it, I would highly recommend having some sort of like tutorial, you know, to tell the player, hey, you need to drop something. You know, like you have to open up your inventory, hit D to drop. Because I would say like very small percentage of players know about how the drop mechanic works. Okay, so I was able to drop the arms, but I'm unable to pick them back up. I'll try interaction, but this confirms my theory a little bit that it might just be quest items that you could drop multiple times. Same with the sword. The sword has single player collision collectible, but I am not able to pick it back up. So it does appear to be a quest item related, which is not a bad thing. Well, actually, it's, you know, not intended. Good to know, though. Circle still hasn't appeared. Now, that was collision. I'll try interaction. And with this one, we'll try Curio again. Just doing some minor testing. I'll check, Paul. It might be. Okay, so this is now interaction equipment with the tag. Tag still is identified. Interaction does not work. So, yeah, that confirms my theory where it's only quest items picked up. I'll even report the bug again. Part 2. Only quest items picked up in the inventory can be dropped multiple times. Equipment can only be picked up and dropped once. Yo, Sparky! Happy Friday! Happy Friday to you too! It's a very sparky day.
$75! Woohoo!
Woohoo!
75. Woohoo!
Woohoo! So, unfortunately, the green circle has not appeared yet. Alright, good test though. So, what does that mean? Well, I can set up my mechanic right now using the drop. So if I wanted to do that, I would want to set up each one of these speakers to be looking for a certain thing. Now, I would probably set up the thing first. So, for the sake of testing, I'll use this. So this will be a respawning asset. So whenever I pick one up, and I could, yeah, it's all coming together. I know what I'm doing. Maybe. I'm not sure. Perhaps. So I want this to be a respawning asset that when I interact with it, well, I don't need health on this. I'll add a separate asset here just to help myself understand what to do. This will be an asset spawner. This will be the asset that spawns. It needs to have collectible. Collision or interaction will be fine. Both seem to have worked because it's not equipment. So we'll set it to interaction first. And we'll add an indicator that says, hey, you can interact with me. This is going to be the master code. And then I also want it to have a plant behavior. Plant behavior is going to be, we need a code word for this puzzle. We'll do drop. So we'll do drop, kill. Now I'll make a message broadcaster that is basically sending out that specific message on a loop forever until the player basically beats the game. So we can give it a health component to stop the forever message. I'm fairly certain a toggle would work, but this is like a one-time event. So if the player beats the game, like, we just stop this. That's fine. Anyway, message being sent. Drop.kill. Broadcast range everywhere. Everyone in range is fine. Delay between broadcasts, I'm going to keep it low. And this is going to just be going. It'll just be going. Now, I don't want it to go on forever, though. Because then it's going to make it difficult to be picking this up every time I come back. So I think I need it to drop kill on a duration after a detection. So we'll do drop dot detect dot one. And we'll have 4 of these. Okay, so each one of these is basically sending out that message. Okay. We'll finish this preset. I added a tag, so drop.green has been added. So now I'll save this as a preset. This will be drop.green. My asset spawner, setting it to drop.green, and then for now it'll just be on interact. Okay, what else? The player could just stand here and continually pick up assets, and that's fine. I didn't save, so if it crashes, it's my fault. I'm going to test this real quick. Master code. So we got that first initial message. However, my message broadcaster does not seem to be deleting this. It also seems as though I can't pick this back up. Okay. I might be adding another bug report. Because I think what's happening is the asset spawner spawning my preset removes the functionality of being able to drop it. That's what I believe is happening. Because the message is going out. It should also be sending this drop.kill message, which was supposed to be received by my drop.green, removing it. So we'll make sure this is still working. So I've spawned a preset, I'm now going to drop that preset on the detector, and I cannot seemingly pick it back up. So presets are not keeping that same functionality, or at least spawned presets specifically. Also, it appears as though I can only pick up one preset. It seems as though it has broken after picking it up one time. So that's even worse. Getting good practice at bug reports. Yep, 9A seems to be the case. And yeah, Nicholas Mage, it's like a tree of bugs. It's like one path is the correct path of like working mechanic. Other things are breaking. I mean, this is new, relatively recent, you know, fixes from the dev side of GameMaker. However, it does still seem to have bugs. One sec. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to try is picking up the preset as it spawns. Wait 2 seconds. Spawn another one. It keeps the interaction. The moment I drop it from my inventory, it loses its functionality. So presets do not retain functionality, but if it is a non-preset, it will continue to work. That's what I'm observing right now. And if I am respawning the preset, it also loses that functionality. Now, that preset essentially has broken after dropping it from my inventory. So that's what I'm observing. I'm trying to kind of put it into words. Wax on, wax off. Have we seen this before? Is there another explanation? Okay, so this time I'm just dropping it randomly. I'm not going to drop it over on the detector. I spawn another one. Okay, so dropping a preset from your inventory breaks the said preset. However, I did have this version, which was already on the map. So it breaks any instance spawned afterwards. This is part 3 of this bug. Spawning a preset after... Well, here, I'll add the first thought. If you drop a preset from your inventory, it loses any behavior or component functions. Any asset, any of the same preset spawned thereafter is also broken. That's 3 bugs in a row, boys. Yeah, well, it is important to note that it's only presets that are breaking after dropping them. So for example, by having it on the map, I can drop it indefinitely. So this particular asset here, that I did not spawn as a preset, I should be able to pick up multiple times. Okay, well, there's like some weird lag going on. And it's also not working. But Jet had no problem, so I'm curious what the difference is. So this is a science experiment. I believe it's because it was a default asset. So Jet, for example, is a default sandbox asset. Now, if I were to use a custom asset that I had just created, which my circle still is not in my inventory, even after publishing, I will use one of my boxes. Sure, we'll use this orange one. This is a custom asset that I made. Now, this is going to have client only, collectible, and a plant behavior. So again, I'm trying to see why this is breaking. So this had plant, collectible, indicator. I'm going to give Jet here, soldier, because that seemed to work fine, and collectible, and indicator. Collectible we'll set to interaction. The box we'll keep as collision. We also need it to have the indicator. My cat wants to say hi. Okay, go on. Hipsy's helping. Yep, she's doing her best, which is not much. Okay, so plant behavior, collectible. What else we got? Indicator. So we'll just give this a quick test. Indicator, I wanted to say name. Same with Jet here. I basically want to make sure that the components are working. So we have the corrupted block. If I drop it from my inventory, it lost the indicator. Okay. What about Jet? So if Jet I pick up and then drop him, Jet no longer has the indicator. And he's no longer pick-upable. Okay. My brain hurt. So I think it stems from the legacy behaviors. No? We were able to make this work before. Maybe it's the indicator. Let's remove the indicator. He was walking around before. So I think we lost functionality by having the indicator component. So let us change this to interact. It's collision collectible. I'm removing the indicator. So this has collision interaction and plant behavior destroy, I can no longer pick it up, and I cannot interact destroy it. So my custom asset lost its functionality, both behavior and component. We have Jet, who is currently a defender, and he is currently walking around. I should be able to attack him. So his health component still works. His defender behavior still works. Can I still pick him up? I cannot still pick him up. Now, why is that? Because we were able to do that before. We were able to pick him up before. Did I change anything about him? He has soldier, he has health, he has collectible. Like, you guys were here, right? When I was able to pick him up multiple times. I'm gonna check my VOD, because I don't know what I did different. Maybe he has to want to be picked up. Oh, okay. If the item is in the areas by a using speaker, to check the item was not there or there yet. Yeah, Julie, that's very possible. You'll want to probably use a message broadcaster. Okay, we gotta adjust the quality so we can play this. Help! I'm being oppressed! Streamception. Half the time, it works every time. I agree, Nicholas. Maybe it was the health component? And I did give him a custom tag. So all he has right now is the collectible interaction and the soldier behavior. If I change this to collision, it breaks. Okay. Very confused here. Okay, so I picked up Jet. Dropped Jet. And then I was unable to pick him up again. Okay. This was early in the stream. So what did I do different? What's this guy saying? Oh, cheers to that. Cheers to that. Good morning. Mosquita, buenos dias. Look at you too. How are you two? Bert. Good. Bert. Okay. This isn't helping me. Welcome in, guys. OG Shakespeare, bring the raid. Here are trolls. This isn't helping me at all. Alright. Well, I mean, we made some interesting progress with this. I thought we were able to loop it. Like, to where we could pick it up and drop it multiple times. Could have sworn we were able to. So this time, I'll just do collectible only. Maybe it was Curio? No, it breaks when you drop them a second time. Moving so fast, Ding Dong Dilly. Yeah, it's decaf coffee. It's a placebo effect. Alright, this time I'll try Curio. I don't think there was like a legacy collectible. Fairly certain there wasn't. Curio works. Curio works. Curio I was able to do multiple times. However, it gave me 2. I don't know why it gave me 2. Curio's just laggy like that. And now it's not even working a 3rd time. It worked. What? What? How is it this buggy?
There.
I don't understand how it's this buggy though.
V-Box.
Thanks, V-Box. How's V today? Like, I feel like I'm going crazy here with how inconsistent it is. Like, you guys are, those of you paying attention, I can't be that crazy, right? Okay, dropping him from inventory. This is Curio. I'm able to pick him up a second time, but it gives me 3. It just gave me a duplicate. It says I have 2 in my inventory. I can drop 1 at a time. So I'm basically cloning Jet from my inventory. Okay. Okay. And it no longer works after the second time. Okay, well, let me get this straight. I picked him up 1 time, dropped him 1 time. The second time I picked him up, I got 2. And that's breaking it. So Curio has some problems, it appears. This is just normal collection. I drop normal collection. I cannot pick up normal collection a second time. We are all a little crazy. Yep, it's Game Maker's fault though. It's a glitch in the Matrix, I agree with that, Nine. V-Box says you have to be crazy to keep up those bugs. I can't even keep up. I thought I was crazy. Alright, I'm just going to confirm this one last time before I move on with my life. I'm able to pick him up the first time. I'm able to drop him the first time. I'm able to pick him up a second time. I've been given a duplicate as well as the initial asset. I now have 2 of them in my inventory. I can drop them 1 at a time. So I was able to basically duplicate them in my inventory. But now I can no longer pick them up a 3rd time. So it just kind of like breaks. Do I even report this? This is just weird. It probably is, Nicholas, but I don't know how to fix that. There's like no way I can fix it. It's just like broken functionality. Part 4. If you pick up, well, it's collect an asset using Curio and drop it from your inventory, you are able to pick it up again. This second collectible action, using Curio, causes the player to pick up two of the same asset. These new duplicates lose the functionality after being dropped from the inventory. Yeah, Paul. Hey, I'm doing my part. Like, this was a science experiment this morning, for sure. And if we gain more functionality by me reporting it, I am glad I did. The game is incredibly laggy right now. I might need to restart GameMaker. It's got like this weird stutter going on. So I'm gonna restart it, see if it helps. I'm gonna delete Jet though. Get out of here, Jet. Alright, you can stay, Jet. Yeah. Vivox, my biggest fear is like them reading my bug and not interpreting it right. So then I just look like a dingus. Like, I would hate to like waste someone's time by trying to help. You know, there's just something like double counterintuitive by doing that. It's like super counterintuitive. Bert says, first, get out the money printing machine. That's an idea. I kind of want to make a money printing machine and Vox Edit now. Any minute now. You take your time, Game Maker. Do what you gotta do. So it is 9 o'clock. Usually I'll do a giveaway around this time. Might as well, right? Give it away, nah. Okay, yeah, the giveaway is up on screen. I'm gonna go think about my life for a little bit. Goodbye.
Ready to work.
Vox Machina.
Of course, Vox Machina has done something like this.
And we're back. Vox Machina! What's up, dude? Welcome in. 420 John Weed. What's up? Alright, I'll roll the giveaway. VOX!
Potato, potato.
VVV.
VVVVV.
VOX! Congrats. Okay. Finally, this is V. GG! Says Lovey. Alright, well I'm happy with this mechanic-ish. Not really. Not very happy with it.
Potato,
Okay.
potato.
VVV.
VVVVV.
VOX! So presets didn't work. What if I remove the preset functionality from an asset spawner in particular? It's worth noting. And so now I'm spawning this asset with drop.green as the tag. So I'm spawning a normal asset that has tag drop.green. I'll even give it a plant behavior, and we'll give it a collectible. And we're going to want sure, collisions and gravity. Not fake HD coffee. I've just started the decaf life. I'm sorry you don't agree with me. But enjoy your normal coffee. I wish I had some. Dude, I had a painful headache from lack of caffeine yesterday. Painful. But it's more or less subsided, so we're good now. Okay, so this is the collectible, which very difficult to collect with gravity on it. So I can drop it one time, and I cannot pick it up a second time. It also lost its collisions and gravity. So asset spawning kind of breaks this too. Just in general, asset spawner breaks that. Okay. I don't think there's much else I can do with this mechanic, huh? It was cool to know that I could pick up and drop stuff, but it basically loses that functionality the first time I do it. Now, how can I change that? How can I work around that? My first thought is to add a health component that respawns on top of me. So this health component needs to be non-collidable so that it can spawn on top of me. And it needs to be spawning a no collisions asset on detect player. Avatar. That's weird. 0. Now this message would be activated when. So if I want this to respawn on top of me, I could use asset spawner, replace asset, speaker component. Speaker component does the detecting of the player, so we'll set that up first. So we'll do detect avatar. That's going to be detecting specific tag, include tag, avatar. Man, I can't spell today. Small detection range. Message being sent is the detect avatar. That happens everywhere one time. So I'm doing only once so that I can set up replace asset to where it's also looking for that same message. And when it does, it's going to replace itself with a dud. So the dud, I'm going to set to, sure, we'll use the logic lamp. This is going to be a dud. So what that means is I have to use the asset that has been spawned before the dud is replaced. However, if I'm using a replace asset, it won't keep the parent hierarchy structure, I believe. So maybe making a dud is not a good idea. Or I can spawn all those as a group, which is what I think will happen. So that means we're going to be using a preset still then. No? I'm going to set this one to the side. We'll have a duplicate if we need to trace our steps. I'm going to change this back to a preset. We're going to use drop.green, but this time drop.green is going to be a group of assets. So it'll be these two. This one can then just be a plant behavior, right? Which would then be destroyed on that same drop.kill. Now, what's the main reason why I'm doing a plant behavior? It's so that this asset, when it's spawned, doesn't have a health component. That way the player can't just like attack something that's not really there, per se. So it's basically like a workaround health component. So this is going to be drop.placeholder, which we'll save as a preset. And then that is going to be my detection asset. It's going to swap to that when the player is detected. So basically, by detecting itself, which in all honesty, I don't even need this. I don't need replace asset. This is set to only once anyway. But by removing it, it allows me to give the player margin for error to where I don't have too many of these assets. But yeah, I think I'm overcomplicating this. So I'm going to set this to the side as well. This is just going to just be there. It'll just be an asset with an only once speaker component. So I don't need anything in the behavior section. I was essentially adding something I didn't need. I'm also going to change this to single player. Now I'm going to parent these together. And not even parent them. I'm basically going to preset it as the same thing, and it's just going to be a group preset. Delete. Okay, so this is going to spawn on the player when? Well, when I get the detect avatar, right? No. When I get the drop detect. Or drop.kill. Now the drop.kill is the funnel, and I do need a funnel because I'm using a health component. A health component can only accept one message, one death message, whereas my message broadcaster is basically converting all of my drop detections into one message. So it's converting drop detect 1, 2, 3, and 4 into drop.kill. So that's the main reason why I'm using the message broadcaster. It's acting like a funnel in a way. I'm going to remove the health component for now. We don't need it. This drop.kill message goes out. That's going to activate the respawn underneath the player. And then it's going to detect the player and spawn the asset. Okay. Now, last thing I need to do is add one singular asset here that can be picked up. And that should be all we need. So I'll save it and give it a try. We'll see what happens. Oh, Nicholas Mage, that's a good bit of advice. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna miss coffee, but I also like the idea of being in a non-externally influenced mindset. So having coffee, for example, is a stimulant. And when you get too heavily reliant on stimulants, which I am very guilty of, it's very unhealthy. Alright, so we're going to pick this up. We're going to drop it. That's going to activate my asset spawner. However, the detection did not occur. So I'm missing the detect asset, which doesn't spawn by itself. So I think I needed that asset spawner and the replace asset. So that's where the replace asset comes in. Okay. So the replace asset allows me to spawn this. However, that's like a one-time event, because once I replace it, it's not coming back. So I need to find a different workaround. This doesn't have the same settings I set up. That's weird. This has the default settings. I presetted it, and I recalled making the detect avatar. So I think that's a bug. Gotta love the bugs. Gonna pretend like that's not what's happening. Okay, asset spawner. If I'm spawning it on the player, I can do drop.green. Do just one. I'm just thinking of ways to improve this, but right now it's like not even very optimal. I'm considering doing the message from here. We're sending out detect.avatar. We don't want only once. I have an idea though. But I need to make sure this is working before I continue with that. This couldn't get very convoluted very fast. Okay. V, no one is saying that you drink too much coffee. I said I drank too much coffee. Okay, so there's the asset spawner, but it didn't offset the asset it spawned. It was supposed to spawn. So it appears as though my detection did not work. So detect.avatar. We need to make sure this has a small offset so I can see it, just in case it's inside the spawner. We'll set the spawner a little bit to the side here so I don't walk on it on accident. My bad, V. You are allowed to share. Okay, so that did spawn a new version. The new version is not being picked up. New version will not allow me to pick it up. Did I give it collectible? So right now I'm spawning the preset, which was drop green, which does have plant, collectible, and indicator. Now I no longer need this detector. We'll resave this preset. That's annoying. Sometimes the drop location is literally like 4 blocks away. The idea was that if you stood inside of the hex, it would have been detected. Oh, 5 blocks away. That's funny. Sorry, V. My mind is stuck on this right now. And it's not even, like, in a good way stuck. It's more like, what am I even trying to do? What is my objective here? Alright, well, the interact does not even work right now. So, basically, I'm playing with a broken toy. And I'm expecting it to, like, stand on its own 2 feet. So I'm pretty much wasting my time. That's what I'm doing. Not saying for anyone to stop, but it does feel like an addiction. Oh, Nicholas Mage, that is very well said. I completely agree with that. Nope, I can't do it, Goas. That's the problem. It's literally impossible. I can't. So once you pick it up one time, that's enough to break it to where you can't pick it up multiple times. However, I'm sure pickable will work. Because pickable, you're not even adding it to your inventory. So the whole premise of this puzzle was adding things to your inventory, and that usually means like multiple things. But if you can't make a mistake, that makes this puzzle a lot more frustrating, I think, for the player. To where it's like, you'll pick up an asset, you'll drop it in what you presume to be the solution location, and then you won't be able to pick it up when you realize you made a mistake. So there has to be some sort of margin of error. And right now there is not. Now a pickable component is just going to work. Like there's no reason for it to not work. Like it's pretty much foolproof. But the whole purpose of this experiment was to explore the drop mechanic from the player inventory. So, that being said, how possible is it for us to make a literal drop when this asset spawns on top of us? So instead of a asset spawner behavior, we're going to use the drop behavior, or component, drop component. Now, this asset is respawning on us, the player. So I'm basically replacing asset spawner with drop as a component. So on the death, we're going to do a random offset of 1, drop delay of 2. So basically, it gives it enough time to spawn underneath me, and then drop the green component.
Neat.
Neat. We'll give this collectible again. Hey, welcome in, Exura. What is up? So, it seems as though the drop component worked. However, it dropped an asset that no longer has collisions. So it's still breaking in that regard. But why is that? Is it because it's a preset? Because that should work by default. Like that, I don't think that's ever been a problem before. Where it's like, let's just say a bear that you slaughter drops meat. Like, you should still be able to pick up the meat, right? So I think my preset is essentially breaking. So I'm curious as to why that is. We'll do drop.green. Delete. Yeah, V, I feel like VOD said it well enough. It's like a lot of the things that should be working just don't work. And I'm more or less like trying to fix a brick wall. So after 2 seconds, it should drop. And this time it didn't even drop the component. That's even more strange. What if I set up either? So if it dies, or if I interact with it, it's supposed to drop .green. We'll keep the offset. Which I do like the either functionality. if it works. So right now it's detected me, but it didn't spawn anything. I've destroyed it, and it didn't spawn anything. So right now it's not even spawning the thing that I'm telling it to spawn. And so that's confusing me even more. It's like, why is this not dropping it? Let's just set this to a different asset. We'll try spawning something like this. Behavior. We'll just have it as a plant. Yeah. Well, I mean, we gotta roll with the punches. I'm sure 8.3 is gonna fix some things and introduce some new broken things. So the interaction worked. The death did not. So right now it's being destroyed. However, I think because I'm using respawn to tag, that's preventing it from dropping. So for that, I'm going to change this to destroy. I'm going to set this to detect avatar, because that's the message that was going out. So I think because I had it set to respawn to tag, it wasn't dropping the asset. Okay, that time it's spawning the collectible. If I destroy it, it's only dropping the thing one time. Okay. So I can't have it re-drop something. So if I set drop to either, let's put it back on interact. This time I want it to spawn underneath me.
Neat.
Neat. $97A. So this time it's going to spawn underneath me, and then it should drop the asset. Okay, so respawn to tag does not work with drop component, which is very understandable. Like, I could see why that wouldn't work. Okay. So if that's the case, I can set it to message detect avatar. And then the health component as respawn to tag is still very helpful for me. So I'm going to try keeping that. And this time I'm going to set it to replace... Oh, I can't. Okay, we'll do plant behavior. That's fine too. This is going to use the drop.kill. That's the same message we set up on our message broadcaster. And I'm also going to make a asset spawner for the asset spawner. So basically I'm going to be spawning an asset that has respawn to tag on it that works one time. So I'm essentially trying new things here. There's not really like a goal per se, other than making a asset that spawns underneath me.
Neat.
But yeah, I'm just like trying to find new mechanics really. Just exploration. Ugh. Okay, so this asset spawner. It's going to do so on the same exact message that the old one is dying on. So what is the message that causes this to respawn under me? That's drop.kill. Okay. What about this plant behavior then? I need to associate with picking up whatever this asset is. So we do want to use a preset here, which is going to be our drop green. So the drop green, I'm going to set to collision. And when I pick it up, it needs to send out a new message. So this is going to be drop.collect. So drop.collect is going to be the plant behavior killer. So essentially, the order of operations is player brings asset to detector. Detector detects the asset. The asset, upon detection, removes the detector and then spawns this asset here underneath me, which then, because it detects the player, spawns a new asset. That new asset is then brought to the next location. That's pretty much what's going on. Alright, last thing is to resave this preset, and then save it and give it a try. Yeah, Vvox says drops are only once since before. Makes sense. Yeah. So my solution or workaround is basically respawning, or I guess spawning a new version of the asset that drops. This provides a way to spawn the asset directly underneath the player.
Neat.
And this is one of many ways to do it. I think there are multiple ways to do this. Okay, so that's collectible. We bring it over here. It's detected. We spawn another one. It didn't remove the old one, and I can't pick up the new one that just dropped, which is
Another one.
annoying. Because that was like the whole thing I was trying to find a workaround for. So basically the preset breaks the first time it's used or dropped. So for example, if I were to change the asset that spawns here while not saving the preset, so instead I would do behavior, collectible, and use, well actually if I'm not presetting it, maybe this would work, because it's allowing me to do all the things I need it to. Let's try this just with these settings. Okay, so presets that are spawning do not keep the collectible. Or anything for that matter. I don't think it has any of the behaviors I set up with it. So that's unfortunate. That's a bug, obviously, but it's like, I don't know how to approach that or how to word that. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's try using just the behavior instead of the preset. So behavior meaning that's what I'm dropping. So I'm dropping a type of drop behavior. So before, this preset function was not spawning the asset with the functions I set up in advance. This time, I'm trying behavior as the type of drop, and we'll see if it still retains these different functionalities. So again, I'm spawning a preset using the asset spawner. This one was already on the map. So the one on the map seems to work fine. It's when I spawn the preset that it loses that functionality. And that does appear to be true still. Not that it matters, but I'm going to change this to single player. And then just resave this again because it doesn't appear to have saved. So thank you, presets, for not saving. That really helps me, game developer, a lot when you don't actually save yourself. Yeah, Nicholas Mage, I would like that too. That way I can see what, is behind me. Well, this was a fun experiment until I started hitting a brick wall 1,000 times. So it's not saving itself. It's basically, it has the old version of my preset still. So presets are very finicky with how they're being saved. I remember this was a problem. I think 9A7A was the one with the solution. But I was supposed to restart GameMaker in order for presets to return their functionality. Man, I'm just really enjoying GameMaker the last couple days. Just really enjoying it. There's just only 5 bugs per day. This is pretty efficient, I would say. Oh, Little Legion spotted that. Thank you, Nane, for clarifying. But yeah, my preset's not saving. The drop mechanic is half working. I had corrupted assets that basically wasted my time. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining. But overall, the frustrations shouldn't be there. A lot of these things were working at some point, and then they just kind of fixed them. But yeah, I'm glad that we found that drop mechanics are somewhat working. You can only drop something one time from your inventory, so that's worth noting. Yeah, this is a good stopping point. I'm gonna test my other mechanics though. Make sure they're working flawlessly. And then probably wrap up. We'll do one giveaway to wrap up the stream.
You will be alright.
There.
Thanks.
Thanks.
V-Box.
V-Box. But yeah, thank you. If anything, these things will hopefully be fixed in due time, and by reporting the bugs as I found them, hopefully that helps. I should probably try and report that bug that I was just encountering. Presets were not spawning correctly. I don't have a... Yeah, I don't have... Whoa. It turned red. You hit escape. Yeah, I don't have anything for that. I don't know how to word it yet. Nice. So this puzzle, I think, will be more fun if the numbers are found somewhere on the map rather than, like, guessing, for example. Like, I would probably make it simple enough to where the number is literally on the door. So, for example, this one was 2023. So I would put 2023 on the door. Then the player would be like, oh, that makes sense. I need to put that number here. And so then they would walk up, they would punch it as many times as they need to get to that number. That being said, I would also want to create a mechanic that perhaps closes the door. I think that might be too frustrating, though. What I did in the past was I had the asker behavior activate. So I would have the door basically open, and then an asker behavior would be like, you hear a faint click in the distance. That's probably what I would keep. And then the doors would be permanently open. I think that's fair. So yeah, that puzzle's working pretty well. My water puzzle we fixed this week, so I'm happy this is working. Basically, I had a corrupted asset, so that was fun to figure out. Took me 2 days. Essentially, the asset, there was nothing wrong with it, but every time I like saved it, resaved it, it still would break. So even the solution was to literally recreate it from scratch. That was the portion of my puzzle that was breaking, and it no longer breaks. So this is the winning combination right here. 5-4 and 8-4 and 3-0. And so that would open the door. And right now I don't have that set up. I even have this little cheat sheet here if I ever forget how to do it. And so that's how we discovered that one of my assets was basically corrupted. Is because following this, which is the only way to get to the correct solution, my game kept crashing. However, it's not crashing anymore. Hey, Wet Noodle, what's up, dude? Welcome in. Oh yeah, giveaway code is up on screen. This is the end of the stream, so thanks everybody for watching. Please type pizza into chat. Code word is up on screen. Here, I'll make sure it's an adequate size so you can all read it. Pizza. Thank you, Garnican. Pizza. Pizza. Hey, J-Dog. Same to you, Garnican. Enjoy your weekend. We might be playing some D&D tonight. Looking forward to that. My players are all in a like an insect-infested mushroom. So if that sounds interesting, I'll see you in about 5 hours. Needs to be bigger. You see those voxels yet, Paul? Look at those voxels. That's some good shading. Look, you can even still read chat behind it. Pizza. Oh, I don't. Is Andy Ritchie streaming Sandbox? If not, probably will not be rating Andy Ritchie. Oh, he is reading. Much better. Alright, let's go ahead and roll it. Wait, does he have the burger cheese Big Mac Whopper? Oh, that's my stream. I was so confused for a second. I heard the burger Big Mac Whopper when I opened Andy's stream. I was like, wait, he has that song too? Alright, everybody. Have a great Friday. Great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Here, we'll raid Andy Ritchie. The winner of the giveaway was Bert. Congratulations, Bert. Thank you, Bert. GG! GG! Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good time. Bye-bye.